Hello, dear students. Today we will discuss Pharmaceutical Impurities 1, Limit Test of Iron and Arsenic. Introduction. A compound is said to be impure if it is having foreign matter. Pure chemical compounds refer to that substances which is having no foreign matter, that is impurities. Limit tests are quantitative or semi-quantitative tests designed to identify and control small quantity of impurities which are likely to be present in the substances. The iron limit test is designed to determine the allowable limit of iron compounds contained as impurities in a sample. Limit test of iron is based on the reaction of iron in ammoniacal solution with thioglycolic acid in presence of citric acid to form iron thioglycolate, which is pale pink to deep reddish purple in color. Arsenic is a well-known undesirable and harmful impurities which suppresses the medicinal substances. All pharmacopoeias prescribed a limit test for it. Many qualitative and quantitative tests for arsenic are known. However, the pharmacopoeia method is based on the Gurdjieff test. Module 2, Limit Test for Iron. The principle behind this test. The limit test for iron is based on the reaction of iron in ammoniacal solution in presence of citric acid with thioglycolic acid. When a pale pink to deep reddish purple color is formed due to ferrous compounds, ferric iron is reduced to ferrous iron by the thioglycolic acid and the compound produced is ferrous thioglycolate. Citric acid forms a suitable complex with iron and prevents its precipitation by ammonia as ferrous hydroxide. Ferrous thioglycolate is colorless in neutral or acid solutions. The color develops only in presence of alkali. It is stable in the absence of air but fades when exposed to air due to oxidation to the ferric compound. Therefore, the colors should be compared immediately after the time allowed for full development of colors is over. If the color from test solution is less dark than the standard, then the sample passes the test. Ammonia to make solution alkaline is used. Citric acid does not allow the precipitation of iron by ammonia by forming a complex with it. The color due to ferrous compound gets destroyed by oxidizing agents. Thioglycolic acid helps to oxidize iron 2 to iron 3. The oxidation of iron has been immaterial as iron 3 means ferric gets reduced to iron 2 means ferrous by thioglycolic acid. Thioglycolic acid, as shown in the formula, is a useful analog of glycolic acid. This is prepared by the action of potassium hydrogen sulfide on monochloroacetic acid, as shown in the reaction. It is a colorless liquid having unpleasant odor. Thioglycolic acid test for iron has largely replaced the former test, which was based on the formation of highly colored ferric thiocyanate by reaction between ammonium thiocyanate and ferric iron salts. It is believed that the thioglycolic acid test has been more sensitive than the ammonium thiocyanate test. The color produced from a specified amount of the substance is compared with the standard color obtained from a known amount of iron under exactly similar conditions. Nestle cylinders of specified dimensions and uniform quality being used for the standard and the test solution. This test is very sensitive. Interferences of other metal cations is eliminated by making use of 20% citric acid, which forms a complex with other metal cations. Preparation of a standard solution of iron. It is prepared by adding 0.173 gram of ferric ammonium sulfate to 1.5 ml of hydrochloric acid and adding sufficient water to produce 1000 ml. Each ml of solution contains 0.02 milligram of iron. The method: dissolve the specified quantity of the substance under examination in water or prepare a solution as directed in the specific monograph and transfer to a Nestle cylinder and to it 2 ml of 20% iron free citric acid solution added and 0.1 ml of thioglycolic acid. Mix made alkaline with a solution of iron free ammonia solution and dilute it to the 50 ml mark with water. Allow to stand for 5 minutes. The color obtained is compared with a standard prepared from 2 ml of standard solution of iron, that is 20 ppm iron, with 40 ml water in a Nestle cylinder, following the same procedure as for the test solution. For the procedure, you just look at the table on your screen. Earlier, ammonium thiocyanate reagent was used for the limit test of iron, but thioglycolic acid is a more sensitive reagent for iron. It has replaced ammonium thiocyanate in the test. All the reagents used in the limit test of iron should themselves be iron free. Hence, they themselves should conform to the limit test of iron. Module 3. Limit test of arsenic. Principle behind limit test of arsenic. The pharmacopoeia test is based on the fact that arsenic in the arsenious state can be easily reduced to arsine gas. When this gas is passed over mercuric bromide paper, it produces a stain which ranges in color from yellow to brown, the intensity and length of which are proportional to the amount of arsenic. British Pharmacopoeia suggests the use of a mercury chloride paper instead of mercuric bromide paper. A standard stain prepared from a definite quantity of arsenic is used for comparison and provides the limit which the sample under test must not exceed. Reduction of the arsenic to arsine both in the standard and the sample may be achieved by the combined action of zinc, hydrochloric acid, stannous chloride and potassium iodide. Analyst M. Williams has devised an electrolytic apparatus which is used to generate hydrogen for the reduction of arsenic to arsine. The arsine is carried over by hydrogen to the mercuric bromide or mercury chloride paper, which are supported in test apparatus. In order to get all the results reproducible, all the variables should be kept constant. It is very essential to maintain the rate of evolution of hydrogen, which in turn is dependent upon the amount and surface area of zinc, the concentration of the acid and the salt in the reaction medium, the temperature and dimensions of the apparatus, etc. Rapid evolution gives rise to a long and diffuse stain, while a slow evolution gives rise to a short stain of intense coloration. Neither stain has been found to be satisfactory for quantitative comparison. The specification in the pharmacopoeia have been given to standardize the variation and must be strictly followed. The chemical reaction involved in the method are outlined as follows. When the sample is dissolved in acid, the arsenic present in the sample gets converted to arsenic acid, which gets reduced by reducing agent like potassium iodide, stannous acid, etc. to arsenious acid. The nascent hydrogen formed during the reaction further reduces arsenious acid to arsine gas, which reacts with mercury chloride or mercuric bromide paper, giving a yellow stain, as shown on your screen. In order to carry out the test, a specified apparatus as described in pharmacopoeia is employed. In order to convert arsenic into arsine gas, various reducing agents such as zinc, hydrochloric acid, stannous chloride and potassium iodide are used. It becomes essential to maintain the rate of evolution of hydrogen gas by using a particular size of zinc and controlling the concentration of hydrochloric acids and other salts of the reaction medium, besides temperatures. If any impurity is coming along with the gas, it is trapped by placing a lead acetate soaked cotton plug in the apparatus. All the reagents used for the test should be arsenic free and designated as AST, means substance is arsenic free. Apparatus used for arsenic limit test on the left as shown on screen is an alternative device for securing mercury chloride paper. Apparatus detail. It is having a wide mouthed glass bottle of 120 ml capacity, having mouth of about 2.5 cm in diameter. This bottle is fitted with a rubber bung through which passes a glass tube 20 cm long, having an external diameter of about 0.8 cm, internal diameter of 0.65 cm. The tube is constricted at its lower end extremity to about 1 mm diameter, and there is blown a hole not less than 2 mm in diameter. In the side of the tube ear, the constricted part, the upper end of the glass tube has been fitted with two rubber bungs about 25 mm to 25 mm size, each having a hole bored centrally and exactly 6.5 mm in diameter. One of the bungs has been fitted to the upper end of the tube, while the second bung has to be fitted upon the first bung in such a way that the mercury chloride paper gets exactly sandwiched between the central perforations of the tube. The bungs are kept in close contact by using rubber band or spring clip in such a manner that gas evolved from bottle must have to pass through the 0.65 mm internal circle of mercury chloride paper. During the test, the evolved gases have been passing through the side hole, the lower hole serving as an exit for water which condenses in the constricted part of the tube. An important feature of the apparatus has been the standardization of the areas of mercury chloride paper which is exposed to the action of arsine gas. Alternate devices A, B shown for fixing mercury chloride paper. Images is on your screen. Please look after it. Now reagents. All the special reagents used in the limit test for arsenic are marked and distinguished by letter AST, which means that they all should be arsenic free and should themselves confirm the limit test of arsenic. First is hydrochloric acid AST, mercury chloride paper AST, zinc AST, nitric acid AST, potassium chlorate AST, sodium carbonate, anhydrous AST. Now, the general method of limiting test of arsenic. Preparation. The solution of substances, simple organic compounds and many inorganic acids and salts which are soluble is prepared with water and add hydrochloric acid AST. If the substance to be examined have been insoluble, for example barium sulfate, bentonite or kaolin, they are diffused in water. The solution of substances such as metallic carbonates which effervesces with acids is obtained with brominated hydrochloric acid AST. The IP provides the methods of preparing the solution of most of the substances which are needed to be tested for arsenic impurity. Special reagents needed for or making solutions are provided in Indian Pharmacopoeia. Procedure for test for arsenic. The glass tube is first of all lightly packed with cotton wool which is previously moistened with solution of lead acetate and dried. Because if impurity of H2S is present, it will be trapped by lead acetate present in the cotton, which otherwise itself would stain the mercury chloride paper. The cotton has been so arranged in the tube that the upper surface of the cotton should not be less than 2.5 cm below the top of the tube and has been lightly packed to allow the gas quite efficiently. The upper end of the tube has been then inserted into the narrow end of one of the bungs and the two bungs secured by using the rubber band after keeping the mercury chloride paper in between them as described above. The solution to be examined and prepared as specified, usually 5 ml from 1 gram of the substance, is kept in the wide mouthed bottle. To this 1 gram of potassium iodide AST, 5 ml of potassium iodide, 5 ml of stannous chloride acid solution and 10 gram of zinc AST are added. The glass tube is kept in position quickly. The action is allowed to continue for 40 minutes. A yellow stain which gets produced on the mercury chloride paper if arsenic is present has been compared by daylight with the standard stains which are produced by operating in a similar manner with known quantities of dilute arsenic solution AST. The most suitable temperature for running the test is generally about 40 degrees centigrade. However, the action may be hastened by keeping the glass bottle on warm surface. The comparison of the stains is done immediately at the completion of the test, and the standard stains used for comparisons are prepared freshly as they start fading on keeping. As a matter of fact, both these tests should be carried out simultaneously. Standard stains. Standard stains are produced by using dilute arsenic solution. Arsenic solution is strong AST having 0.132 gram of arsenic oxide per 100 ml of solution. 1 ml of the above solution is diluted with water to make 100 ml of dilute arsenic solution, 1 ml of which would be having 0.00001 gram of arsenic. A stain equivalent to 1 ml of the dilute arsenic solution produced by operating on 10 gram of the substances would therefore shows that the proportion of arsenic has been 1 part per million as shown in the calculation. It is suggested that only such an amount of the substances should be taken as will be having a maximum of 0.00002 gram. If the sample under investigation shows a stain of lesser intensity than that of the standard, then it passes the test. Instead of mercury chloride paper, other methods can be used provided gas passes through the paper, which has been protected from sunlight in the course of the test. The stain produced on paper fades on keeping, and therefore comparison should be done immediately. Stained paper can be preserved by dipping in hot melted paraffin and keeping away from light. In order to get reproducibility of the results, it is essential to follow the directions given in individual pharmacopoeias. Now, important points about this test. Lead acetate, pleasure or papers are used to trapping hydrogen sulfide, which may be evolved along with arsine. Stannous chloride is essential for the complete evaluation of arsine. In the arsenic test, preferences is given to stannous because they reduces arsenic to arsenious state and sometimes to metallic state, whereas cadmium salts in themselves are not reducing agents. Care must be taken that the mercury chloride paper remains quite dry during the test. The most suitable temperature for running the test is generally about 40 degrees centigrade. Modification of the general method of test is done for certain substances. It is to have arsenic in the final solution in a readily reducible form. The interferences of other substances, ions, etc. gets eliminated by preliminary treatment. Now, we will move towards conclusion. Hope you all have enjoyed the lecture. Conclusion. The quantity of any one impurity in an official substance is often small, but created lots of problems in human being. Some of the most dangerous chemicals in pharmaceuticals and drinking waters are known as heavy metals, includes arsenic and iron. The arsenic and iron bioaccumulates in the body, that is, once absorbed by the human body, it is not excreted or removed from the body, but keeps on accumulating in the body as more and more of the arsenic and iron is consumed by drinking and taking heavy metal substances. Bioaccumulation of these metals is the main cause of toxicity because human being cannot get rid of these metals when consumed in small quantities are not that harmful. Arsenic and iron causes severe damage including cancer, stunted growth, nerve damage and possibly an early death. Thank you. Goodbye.